Did you know that it is possible to grow fresh greens, herbs, and vegetables inside of your house on top of a fish tank? Hi, I'm Kylene, and I'm the Provident Prepper. We have been working with our indoor survival garden for about a year now, and one of the most frequent comments is, why am I not trying to use aquaponics? Well, I'm a little bit concerned about the water inside of my home because water can be very destructive. So I've been looking at some different options, and I was incredibly excited when I found this from EcoLife. So this is an Eco-Cycle Aquarium kit, and you have a 20-gallon fish tank, and it has this whole setup where you can use this as an aquaponics setup. It has a grow light that goes over it that's adjustable, and I am absolutely thrilled to start growing inside my house using aquaponics in this fish tank. Jonathan just finished setting up this really cool Eco-Cycle Aquaponics kit from EcoLife. The first thing we need to do is put in just a little bit of vitamin C powder. It doesn't need very much, but what that does is it starts to break down the chlorine and the chloramine that may be in the water, which means that now we are ready to go get some fish. I am really excited because today I finally get to plant my seeds in my EcoLife aquarium. So I've got these net pots here that come with the aquarium, and I've cut these little strips of paper towel that are 1.5 inches by 5 inches. And we're going to use a wick method to start the seedlings in these little net pots. So I just put the paper towel so that it covers the bottom, and I'm going to just put a really thin single layer of these clay pebbles in the bottom. And then I'm going to fold this paper towel over and then back again, and I'm going to spray it with a little bit of water. And then the best amount of seeds is about 3 to 5 in these little pots right there. And then I'm going to fill this up the rest of the way just to the top of this netting with a few more of these little clay pebbles. It's that simple. Okay, now it's time to put our little planted net pots inside of the fits really nicely in there.
Using the remote, I'm just going to change this to seed setting. And now it's on seed setting, so that is ideal for getting them growing.
We needed to find a place to put this aquarium where it was out of direct sunlight, because if you put it in direct sunlight, you will have an issue with algae bloom. And we want this to be as low maintenance as possible. So pretty much this was a really good place for it to be, where it's still very close to the kitchen so that we can harvest the vegetables really easily, and that it's quite the focal point for everybody to watch these really cute fish.
Because it has all different colors, and these two look like they're little gold.
Yeah, and that silver one looks like it's actual silver.
And that one we named Silvery.
Hurry, Grandpa, let's feed the fish.
Oh, they are hungry, aren't they? Let's get them fed. Will you open the door so that we can feed them? All right. All right, yep, they just need a little pinch. And in it goes. Boy, they are happy fish. Look at them go.
Yeah.
Just a tiny little bit less. All right. Of course, I always have to measure things, so using my energy consumption meter, I figured out the Eco-Cycle Aquaponics system uses 53 watts of energy. Now we run that for about 14 hours each day, and the cost of that turns out to be about 7.5 cents, using our power rate at 10 cents a kilowatt hour. Depending on your rate, it will vary somewhat.
I am really excited about having this Eco-Cycle Aquaponics kit in my home. It doesn't take up all that much room. It's actually really pretty to look at. So we've got it set up where I got this cabinet or this dresser off of an indoor yard sale so that I've got plenty of storage space underneath here, and it just kind of adds beauty to the room. At first, I was a little bit concerned that the noise that it makes will bother me, because if you listen, you can always hear a little bit of running water. And actually, I found that to be very comforting and relaxing. The grandkids are so excited to come and feed the fish all the time. The plants look really healthy. They take very little maintenance compared to my regular indoor garden because I'm not having to feed them all the time. If you look here, see this root system? See the roots in there? They are being very happily fed. They've got a good structure. I don't have any of the pests that I have in my normal garden. I'm not saying that I won't get any. I can see that I could have some, but a lot of the pests in my indoor garden actually live in the soil. There's no soil in here, which means that I don't have any of those kind of pests, especially the little flying black flies. So overall, I'm really excited. I just purchased this tank at a local pet store for about $20. And then this top unit costs about $300. I will leave a link in the description of this video so that you can go and purchase one if you'd like. But EcoLife, the company, is just, they're doing a great job of educating people about making things to be sustainable. And this is one of those things that I think is really cool because it uses the waste from the fish to feed the plants. And in turn, the plants help keep the water cleaner. I have only had to clean the walls of the tank once. And I'm sure that in the future, I'm gonna need to vacuum in here and do some different things. We'll have some follow-up videos on that. But so far, other than feeding the fish, this is incredibly low maintenance. And now perhaps it's time to join me for our first official harvest. I've harvested a few leaves and tasted them. And that was another thing, is sometimes lettuce grown in soil will turn bitter. But so far, the lettuce from here has been really sweet. What I do is I use a method called cut and come again when I harvest lettuce, where I just take these little leaves and I cut them from the outside because the new growth comes from the inside of the plant. And this lettuce grew a lot faster than some of the other plants, so it's been shading them out, just a little bit. So it's good to keep them harvested to allow all of the plants to be able to grow nice and big. There's plenty for a salad. So this is right off my kitchen. And so it really enables me to grow some of the things that I would like to do. Now you could just put an herb garden in here. In here, this is my basil. If you can see this, my basil is looking pretty happy, only it needs to be trimmed up. And this is some chamomile, and I just have a whole bunch of different things in here because I wanted to experiment and see what works really well and see what doesn't. There's even a little mini cucumber plant in here because cucumbers are always fun to have, right? And I wanted to see how that would work in here because that is a really large plant. So we will see in some future videos. My overall assessment of the Eco-Cycle Aquaponics kit is total thumbs up. I think they've done a fantastic job with the design. This is perfect even for someone who lives in a little apartment. You can have the ability to grow some of your own fresh salad greens especially work really well in here, but your own fresh vegetables to feed you and your family even in a very small space with very little work. I am sure that we are going to enjoy it for many, many years to come. And watch for follow-up videos as we see how this progresses over the next few years and see what we end up liking and disliking as time goes on. And now for the question of the day. What is your experience with aquaponics? And do you have a system that you could set up in your living room? Comment below. And thanks for being part of the solution.